Welcome to Diplomatic Channel. I am Amarachi Ubani. More than 400 people have now been confirmed dead in the aftermath of Cyclone Idai. And that's in Mozambique alone. That brings to around 700 the number of people who've lost their lives in the disaster that cut across Mozambique, Zimbabwe and Malawi. There are fears that as more bodies are recovered, the numbers will rise. Even worse, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs says the Buzi and Zambezi rivers are at risk of breaking their banks again. And health scare, the cholera outbreak threatens those who survived in Mozambique.
They have escaped what they thought was the worst. But here in Beira, the hardest hit by Idai, a new challenge awaits. Shortages of food, water and other essentials are causing serious concern among residents. Cases of cholera have also been reported by the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. Survivors are being accommodated in informal camps where health officials have warned this could happen, alongside an increasing number of malaria infections because of lack of electricity and running water. 45 kilometers west of Beira is another camp in Guara set up by the government, with scores of others like it in the flood zone around Beira. Medical tents are small and cramped, and medical personnel few, causing a major concern about malaria and how to diagnose it. Many here are concerned for their future and for the health of their small children, but the biggest fear, a number of them said, was for relatives and friends they had not heard from since the water started rising. There is no electricity, phones or internet at the camp. The United Nations Food Agency, the WFP, has been using helicopters and planes to get to areas whose roads were cut off by Cyclone Idai, delivering food packages. So far, they have been able to reach Guara, Dondo, Namatanda and Kaya villages in Sofala province, east of Mozambique.
WFP is continuing distributing food in Beira city, but also in isolated areas outside the city of Beira. We have deployed helicopters and a cargo plane, and we have about 1,700 metric tons of food on the trucks moving towards Mozambique, and have identified more food in the region that we will moving towards the people in need in Mozambique.
The Indian Navy has also been participating in the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations in Mozambique. Officers from the rescue team were seen in videos helping people stranded in the floodwaters to higher ground. They were also seen delivering food, water, medical aid and other essential supplies to relief camps by helicopter. And help is coming from around the world. In Zimbabwe, also hit by Idai, President Emmerson Mnangagwa said his government has secured enough food aid to cater to all the people affected. He came to see firsthand the rescue mission that had been delayed by bad weather and inaccessibility to the affected areas. Convoys of food aid began arriving by Friday in the southeastern town of Chimanimani. More donated by ordinary citizens are set to be on the way as Zimbabweans rally together to respond to one of the worst natural disasters the country has ever seen. Volunteers have been working round the clock to pack food, water and clothing dropped off at numerous collection points across the country.
To be honest, it's what Zimbabweans do. As soon as any of our people are in a crisis, we band together and we come to help wherever we can. It's what Zimbabweans are made of.
The victims themselves their lives have been changed in so many ways, and so this obviously a meal here and there and some medical help now is what we're providing, and we would like to help long term, but it's going to need bigger funding for getting housing developed, and that's going to be a long-term project that definitely needs to be looked into by our community. And the Zimbabwe community is phenomenal. I have been blown away by the generosity of the people of Zimbabwe, so I'm sure they can do more than just an initial crisis management.
And in Malawi, external help has been coming from China, which donated hundreds of metric tons of food items as part of its humanitarian assistance. A total of 2,000 metric tons of rice provided by China had already arrived by weekend, with 4,000 more tons expected over the next few days for the more than 900,000 people affected by severe flooding from Idai. But the aid workers are having challenges with the weather condition in Mozambique. Coordinator of the UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, Sebastian Rhodes Stamber, aid agencies are currently forced to mainly do helicopter operations as the Buzi and Zambezi rivers are at risk of breaking their banks again.
I should think the main challenge at the moment is the weather. If the weather or either of the rivers is inundated with water and breaks its banks, then that's going to be incredibly challenging. This is an access-based emergency, which means that normally we deliver at scale by driving supplies into an affected area and we distribute. Because of the amount of water, most of the roads are cut off, so we're forced to do helicopter operations. The sooner we can move to road operations, the more people we can serve and better.
Having lost almost everything, survivors turn to faith for hope. About 150 people attending morning service next to what remains of the Universal Church in central Beira. A thick support beam drops from above, with cables and tangles of metal also hanging down or draped across wooden chairs. The floor a mess of broken ceiling tiles and rubble. The pastor says the church will be rebuilt and the number of members of the congregation will keep rising.